When I was a little kid, my family had a small whaler. I'll bet that's true for a lot of you too. It was a fun boat, but it wasn't exactly smooth riding and it wasn't exactly dry. Well, that makes it all the much better to come out here on a modern 210 Montauk with its sharp entry and 16 degrees of transom dead rise, go into the open ocean and do things like this. And this. And this. And this. With one of the new Mercury 4-strokes on the transom of this boat sporting 200 horses, I can do all these things at a cruising speed in the low to mid 30s. If I want to get a little crazy, I can firewall the throttle and I hit 47.7 miles an hour. Plus, since this boat has a 66.5 gallon fuel tank, there's plenty of range to cruise around all day long. Now, plenty of boats with 16 degrees of transom dead rise, that would have turned my back to jelly by now. But this one's a little different. What gives? Whaler's unique construction method is a major contributor to how this boat chops through the waves. The hull and liner are molded, then they get put together inside a 2-part mold and foam is pumped in under intense pressure. It bonds to both layers of fiberglass and you end up with an incredibly rigid, sandwich-like structure. As a result, when you start blasting across the bay, the impacts and vibrations that normally are transmitted through the boat and into your body are greatly reduced. Boston Whaler has been using this construction method for many, many years, but that doesn't mean there's nothing new about the 210 Montauk. In fact, this year there are several new touches, and fortunately, we have Jacob here from Whaler to tell us about them.
Okay, so one of the new features of this boat is the legs of the T-top frame have been sucked in out of the walkway and they're actually flush with the side of the console. Another new feature is these new flush low rails here, and that allows you to mount rod holders to them anywhere you want. And another feature is our new choice of 4 different leaning posts. This here is the deluxe leaning post with flip-up bolsters and a fairly large live well.
This is also the first Montauk to have the aft casting deck with the fold-up aft jump seats. But I do want to go back to a moment to something that Jacob mentioned, these low-profile grab rails, because one of the few downsides to building a boat the way Whaler does is that in the Montauk you can't have gunnel-mounted rod holders. That's all full of foam. However, with the low-profile grab rails on here, you can still add rail mounts. And don't think for a minute that Whaler shortchanges you on rod holders. I mean, for goodness sake, you've got 4 in the transom, 4 more on the leaning post, 5 up top on the T-top, and come here and check this out. Up here in the bow, you simply remove the backrest for the forward seating, and you've got 2 more rod holders on each side up in the bow. You know, some people will look at this boat as a runabout, or maybe even a water sports boat, or just something to kick around with and have fun with the family. I personally look at it as a fishing boat, but however you look at the 210 Montauk, one thing is for sure. If you want a 21-footer that can do this, and this, and this, the 210 Montauk is a boat you just gotta check out.